Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Now I am going to perform an advocacy speech, and the name of my speech is either criticize or develop. I'm sure for 99% that everyone wants and desires democracy, more freedom and more rights. Isn't it so? I guess I'm right. So, what's happening? Most of you associate this term with America, and as this country is superpower, you think that Azerbaijan has to share, admit and apply its policy. No, it's not precisely so. As you can understand, I am going to advocate our government, our governance system. The young generation of any developing country is a big power, as they can and have sufficient energy to perceive and propagandize the information, and doesn't matter whether this information is truthful, reliable or completely false, just to perceive and propagandize. So it would be wrong step to give them more democracy, more freedom and more rights, because it could lead to the instances which happened in Ukraine, Georgia, Libya, Iraq. I think you understand what I mean. And if we took into consideration that these countries' people don't live better and even worse, so for what? Why? For which reason they had revolutions, so much bloodshed? The answer is very simple. For nothing. For nothing. It was just game played by other countries' initiative to create a destabilization in that countries. And our young guys don't have to be so naive. For that reason, our government has to try to have a watch over that young guys' activity to predict and prevent these meaningless casualties. And you know, even in developed countries such as America, and recently happened in Baltimore, can happen these meaningless casualties. So, more freedom isn't always a good thing. Of course, people have to express their opinions, but they have to do it in more civilized way, civilized manners, not so chaotically. Let's have a look at, as example, at recently happened situation in Azerbaijan. The devaluation of manat, national currency of Azerbaijan, had such a noisy story. All have only one thing to do: criticizing our officials. But this before happened in Russia, Turkey, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, our big trade partners. So, as this process was inevitable, there was no place for criticizing. There was no place for criticizing. And I forget to change my slide. To avoid this, government has to have a watch over that young people's activity. And this is what we are supposed to do. We have to stop criticizing. We have to begin to do a more profitable job rather than criticizing, as criticizing doesn't lead to the progress. Of course we need criticism, but it also needs work. It shouldn't be random thoughts or comments. Thus, our government provided us with all the necessary opportunities. All the necessary opportunities. And such people as students of Advocay University are the future of Azerbaijan, of modern developed Azerbaijan. The merely target the young generation of Azerbaijan has to pursue is studying, learning, analyzing, comparing, cooperating, but not criticizing. Again, we need criticism, but it also has to be done by experts. We have to build our own policy. We have to build our own policy, and we have to integrate our culture in modern way, in modern world, but not accept other cultures. And let's have a look what will happen. What will happen when we will have pursued these milestones. If we are successful students, our government will be in trouble-free hands. And Azerbaijan will become developed gradually, without any meaningless bloodshed, casualties. And I hope we will manage to do it. The only thing we are supposed to do now is studying. And this is what our government wants from us. And you see, first European Games will be held in Azerbaijan. And the symbol of these games, fire, pomegranate and gazelle, is integration in modern way of our culture in modern world. And this is what I'm speaking about. We are supposed to do. We have to modernize our culture. Okay, all European countries gained their developed structure after much bloodshed, after much revolutions and strikes. But I hope we will manage to do without anything like this. And if we want more freedom and more rights, we will do it civilized. Not that recently happened in Baltimore, with meaningless casualties. Try to help our government rather than criticizing. It doesn't lead to the progress. Learn, study, analyze. You have already these rights. And this is enough. Thank you for your attention.